Hi guys, now in last class we have studied about laws of capacitor. Here we will take an example to understand that how we can implement the laws. Okay, so accordingly, just like an example or a question also. So here I am just taking an example. So example will be there. Uh, an example will be there that accordingly that find the charge on each capacitors on each capacitors. Okay, if so a diagram is there. So here we have connected three capacitors together, just like that. There is a three capacitors you see, and from these capacitors an EMF will be there, and from this capacitor this one is another EMF. So because this one is positive terminal and this one is also positive terminal of these two EMFs, and its magnitude, just suppose 1 volt is there and there is 2 volt. Okay, and these are three capacitors. Its capacitance 1 microfarad, this one having 2 microfarad, and this one having 3 microfarad. If the charge that flowing or that deposited on the plate of 1 microfarad capacitor, you just suppose this one is Q1, for this one is Q2, and for this one you just suppose Q3 be there. Then what happens? You just use first law. So according to first law of capacitor, it's just like a Kirchhoff's first law, that is just like a junction law. Okay, or node law, whatever. Alright, so you just suppose this one is a point G. Okay, and now we just consider this one is just like A, B, C, and then there is, okay, D, E. Alright, so you are seeing that there is two loops are there. One is in clockwise direction and one is in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so just use according to first law, according to first law of capacitor, what you are seeing that this plate, because this plate of capacitor is directly connected to the positive terminal of the EMF of magnitude 1 volt, so that would be positive, that's why this one is negative. Right now this plate is also connected to the positive terminal of this EMF having magnitude 2 volt, so that would be negative. Alright, and now because this one is negative terminal, so that would be negative, so this one is positive. Okay, so what you are seeing that this plate and this plate be not directly connected to the either of the EMF. That's why the sum of the charges at this junction, that would be constant, that is 0. So from here you are seeing this one having charge Q1 minus Q1, this one having minus Q2, and this one having plus Q3, so that would be equal to 0. That's why according to first law of capacitor, you are seeing here minus Q1 minus Q2 plus Q3 is equal to 0. After being simplifying this one, you are seeing that Q3 is equal to Q1 plus Q2, and this one is your equation. Now also use second law. So accordingly second law. So use second law of capacitor. So accordingly this second law of capacitor, so you have to apply this second law in this loop and in this loop, because there are two loops are there. That's why in loop A B C J A, what you are seeing, you are going from lower potential to higher potential in this EMF. So the potential in this EMF, that will be negative, so -1 volt. Now B and C, there is no any component in C and J. One component will there of capacitor having capacitance 1 microfarad. So the potential drop in this capacitor, that would be Q1 by 1, and that would be positive because you are going from higher to lower potential. So plus Q1 by 1. Now again you in this terminal JA, you are going from higher to lower potential in this capacitance 3 microfarad. So there will be plus Q3 by 3, and this one is equal to sum of the potential drop in different component, that is equal to 0. Okay, so you just simplify this one also. So after doing simplification, that is Q3 plus 3Q1 minus 3, and that is equal to 0, and this one is your next equation 2. Again in loop, just take another loop, this one loop in anti-clockwise direction, A D E J A. So A D E J and A. Again you are going from lower to higher, so whatever the potential drop, -2 volt. There is no any component here, D to E, here E to Z, one component will be here. You are going again higher to low potential. So the potential drop in this capacitor, that is Q2 by Q2, and that is positive. So Q2 by 2 will be here. Again in same branch, going from higher to lower potential. So there will be potential drop in this capacitor Q3 by 3, and that is also positive, and that is equal to 0. After simplification, that will be, you will get just multiply in both sides by 6. So you will get there is 2 Q3, here is plus 3 Q2, and 6 to the 12 minus 12, that is equal to 0, and this one is your next equation, third. Okay, then in next you just multiply this equation by 2, and then subtract this equation from equation 3. So see here, what you have to do, just from equation 3rd subtract from equation 3 equation 2 by multiplication by 2. So just equation 3 multiply 2 times of equation 2. Alright, so see, equation 3 is 2 Q3 plus 3 Q2 minus 12 equal to 0. Equation 2 is, after doing multiplication of 2, that would be 2Q3 plus 6Q1 minus 6 is equal to 0, and then you have to subtract. So just change the sign. Why? Because because this one is positive, so that will be negative, positive there will be negative, negative there will be positive. Alright, so this factor will be cancelled. Here is how much you are getting. This one is minus 6q1. Okay, so minus 6q1 plus 3q2 plus 3q2, and this one is minus 6 is equal to 0. Alright, and this one is your next equation. So you need to just keep in your mind equation 1, that q3 is equal to q1 plus q2. Okay, so you see you have this equation 4 be there. Alright, so you just put the value of q3 from equation 1 into equation 2. Okay, and just you keep in mind this equation, that equation 1 is q3 is equal to q1 plus q2. Okay, so from here just see, put the value of q3 from equation 1 into equation 2. So from here what you will get, q3 is equal to q1 plus q2, now plus 3q1 be there, minus 3, and this is equal to 0. After simplification, from here you will get how much? This one is 3q1 and q1, that is 4q1 plus q2 minus 3, that is equal to 0. Okay, so you just make it another equation, that would be 5, and just take from equation 4 and 5. So from this equation what you will get, you just take 3 outside from here. Okay, so you just take 3 common outside and just divide it on right side, so that will be also 0. So you just take equation 4 first. Equation 4 is after being taking 3 common outside. This one is minus 2q1. So this one is minus 2q1 plus q2 minus 3 minus 2, because we have taken 3 outside. So 3 2s are 1 and 2. 3 2s are, and this is equal to 0. Equation 5 is there. This one is 4q1 plus q2 and then minus 3, and this is equal to 0. So you have got equation 4 and 5. Now you have to simplify. So because you have to simplify this one, so just keep in mind equation 1 and then just simplify this one. So after doing simplification, you simply subtract this one. This equation you just subtract from here. So just change the sign, because this one is positive, so that will be negative, positive, negative, negative, positive, and then that's alright. So from here this factor will be cancelled. Negative, negative, 4 to 6. So 6 minus 6 q1 be there, and there is 3 to 5. Okay. So from here what you will get? You will get nothing with there, because this one is positive, this one is negative. So after doing calculation you will get there is plus 1. Okay, so plus 1, and that is equal to 0. Why? Because you have subtracted. Subtraction be done. So just write down that subtraction be done. Okay, then okay, So from here you see that plus 1 minus 6 q1 is equal to 0. So what you will get from here? From here you will get q1. So your q1 will be just q1, that will be here 1 by 6. So this one is u1 by 6 be there. And this one is the next equation, this equation 6 be there. So you got it, q1. Now put the value of q1 any of the equation, just like in this equation you can put its value in equation 4. Otherwise also you can put equation 4 in equation 5, the magnitude of q1. So I just want to put the value of q1 in equation 4. So from equation 4 and 6, so just put the value. So there is minus 6 q1, put the value of q1, this one is 1 by 6, and then plus 3 q2. So plus 3 q2 be there, minus 6, this is equal to 0. Okay, what you are saying, 6 and 6 will be cancelled, and so here there is minus 1 plus 3 q2 and minus 6 is equal to 0. So 6 and 1, that would be 7. So your q2, that would be 7 by 3. And then this one is your next equation 7, and then you have to find q3. So use equation 1, equation 6 and equation 7. So just write down here that from equation 1st, 6th and 7. So using this equation, put the value of q1 and q2 in equation 1. So what is your equation 1 is q3 is equal to q1 plus q2. Right now put its value. So q1 is how much be there? Your q1 is, see here, 1 by 6. So there is 1 by 6 and your q2 be 7 by 3. So this one is 7 by 3. Alright, okay, just calculate this one. So after doing calculation, how much you will get there? You will get 6 be there. So 1 plus 14. So there is 15 by 6. So the magnitude of Q3 be 15 by 6 microcoulomb. And this one is your next equation 8. And this one is your answer also. This one is this much microcoulomb. And this one is this much microcoulomb. So this one is your charge on the different plates of the capacitor. Alright.